I call this Wednesday, March 24th meeting to order, and if you will all join in the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, and we will start to my left, introduction of commissioners and staff.
Bill Berryhill, public member.
Former chair.
Former chair.
Something like that.
Terry Withrow, county member.
Amy Bublak, city member.
Vito Chiesa, county member.
Richard O'Brien, city member.
Brad Hahn, alternate public member.
Javier Camarena, Assistant Executive Officer.
Sarah Lytle-Penny, Executive Officer.
Rob Taro, LAFCO Counsel.
Jennifer Vieira, Commission Clerk.
Welcome, thank you all. All right, now we're moving on to public comment period. This is a time set aside for anybody who would like to speak to something that's not on the agenda. So I'll open the public hearing. And I will close the public hearing. Thank you for that. Approval of minutes. Minutes for February 24th. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
A motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed, say nay. Passes unanimous. Correspondence?
There's no other specific correspondence other than the informational correspondence on your agenda.
Great. All right. Declarations of conflicts of interest. Looking, listening, seeing none. Consent item. We have one item, or we have none, I'm sorry. Public hearing, we do have one. It's the application municipal service review and sphere of influence update, Salida storm drain. And who will be doing this? Javier.
Good evening, Commissioners. Javier Camarena, Assistant Executive Officer with LAFCO. The item being discussed this evening is LAFCO application number 2020-01, municipal service review number 2020-03, and sphere of influence update number 2020-03, Salida storm drain reorganization to County Service Area 4. The proposed project is a request to annex the community of Salida into CSA 4 in order to provide storm drain services. The proposal also includes a divestiture of storm drain services from CSA 10 and detachment of the landmark business park area from CSA 10. Also included is an updated municipal service review and sphere of influence reflecting the proposed changes. Those are included with the project as well. And we'll get more into depth on the proposal in a few of the later slides. The proposed territory is located in the community of Salida, south of the MID Canal here on the map, west of Stoddard Road, north of Bacon Road and Murphy Road, and east of Toombs Road. So generally the Salida community. Just to provide you with some background on CSAs in Salida, in 1989, the county established CSA 4, Bristol Glen, which consisted of approximately 32 acres. The CSA was created in order to provide storm drain services for a small subdivision there. In 1990, the county established CSA 10 throughout various parts of Salida. The CSA was formed in order to provide storm drain services and parks and streetscape maintenance. In 2002 and 2003, the county completed a storm drain project that included curb, gutter, inlets, and collection pipes. That project tied in the older parts of Salida, the established and basically some of the more original areas of Salida into that storm drain system. So as a result, there was a large area of Salida that was benefiting from the storm drain service, but was not contributing to maintenance following the construction. So those areas were not in any CSA, but they were benefiting from that, and still today are benefiting from that storm drain system. So that current proposal would annex the entire community of Salida into CSA 4. This would increase the number of assessment payers from 137 parcels to approximately 4,443, all of which benefit from the storm drain system. Also, as part of the proposal, the county is proposing a divestiture of storm drain services from CSA 10 in order to avoid duplication of services by CSA 4 and 10. CSA 10 will continue to provide park and streetscape services, but CSA 4 will be the sole district providing storm drain services. And as proposed, as part of the proposal, detachment of the Landmark Business Park from CSA 10 is proposed, since it only benefits from storm drain services provided by CSA 10. And you can see on this map, it's this little area with lines east of Highway 99. CKH requires several factors to be considered by LAFCO when evaluating a reorganization. Factors considered include community impacts, growth, local plans and policies, impacts to agriculture and services. A discussion of these factors can be found on pages 4 through 7 of the staff report. LAFCO law allows the Commission to approve annexations which may extend any previously authorized charge, fee, assessment, or tax by a local agency within the affected territory. As part of this proposal, the county will apply existing CSA 4 assessments to the annexation territory. The county has also requested that a transfer of all fund balance for the maintenance of storm drain services, as well as 60.1% of CSA 10's admin fund be transferred to CSA 4. And these terms and conditions will be effective upon recordation of the certificate of completion. So if the Commission approves the proposal, the annexation will be subject to protest proceedings. Protest proceedings provide registered voters and property owners the opportunity to protest the Commission's decision. And just a little bit more information on protest proceedings. Per government code, if protests are filed by less than 25% of registered voters or landowners in the affected area, the Commission's decision will be confirmed. If protests are filed by 25 to 50% of registered voters, the decision will go to an election. If protests are filed by 25% or more of the landowners in the area who own at least 25% of the assessed value of land within the territory, the decision will go to an election. And if protests are filed by at least 50% of registered voters within the territory, the proceedings will be terminated. Further details on proceedings can be found in the staff report or in Government Code 57075. Pursuant to CEQA, the proposed annexation is considered exempt, as there's no possibility that the proposed annexation will have a significant effect on the environment. Staff's recommendation can be found on page 7 and 8 of the staff report, which includes approval of the proposal as outlined in Resolution 2021-03. Approval of the resolution would approve the proposed project, certify the project exempt pursuant to CEQA, approve the proposed sphere of influence contingent upon completion of annexation, and direct the executive officer to initiate protest proceedings. This concludes my presentation, and staff is available for any questions that the Commission may have.
Questions for Mr. Camarino?
I have a couple.
Sure.
Okay. I'm assuming the county's the applicant on this?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. I'm curious about Landmark. What happens to them? They've been paying into this, and now they're being taken out. Are they going to be taken over by another CSA or what?
According to the proposal, they're going to be annexed into CSA 4. Right now, in CSA 10, they're only getting storm drain services. CSA 4 provides storm drain services. So they're detaching from CSA 10 because...
But they're going into 4.
Right.
Okay, but just for storm drain.
Correct.
Okay. The way I saw it, they were being left out, and they've been paying into it, so I just wondered.
They'll still be paying into storm drain just in CSA 4 now.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
I have a short question on this protest. Is this in place of a 218 vote,
It's the functional equivalent of one. Yes.
a functional equivalent? Thank you.
I'm just going to provide a little background because I've been living this for the last 2 years, maybe, at least 2 years, out in Salida. So this has been gone through an extensive vetting with the residents of Salida. We've had 3 meetings at the Municipal Advisory Commission, 3 meetings there, public meetings. Dave Lehman has been there for, I think, probably all 3 of them, and I think we've had plenty of other staff there going through this process. It was approved by the MAC, their board, advisory board, it was unanimous approval, and actually the idea for this came up, actually came out of the MAC meetings and from residents there. We were running out of money in the CSA 10 because for various reasons. We'd done different projects out there, as the staff report refers to some extent, and we got to the point where we needed more money to be able to continue to do the storm drain, and we were doing landscaping also in CSA 10. And so, so we went to the MAC and asked them for ideas. What can we do? How do we make this work? And it's never fun to go and ask people for more money, to have to come up with more money to continue to provide services out there. But it was their idea they came up with, and we realized that there were a majority of the people out there in Salida were not paying for this, so the burden was on the few, and the many were getting the benefit from it. And it was their idea to let's spread the love, basically, in this, and get more of the residents, all of the residents, to be paying for the storm drain that was going on. And the CSA 10 will still continue to be landscaping for those areas. And so, so it was a very fruitful process that we went through this, and there were a few that were against it, but in the end, as we worked through this thing, it became very much something that was born out of a lot of meetings and a lot of hard work that got us to this point. There was an article, I'm going to talk about this article recently that was in MSW a couple days ago, which was very discouraging, to say the least, disheartening, and very much incorrect. The headline in the B, I think, was Salida residents pay more county taxes than other county residents and could get worse. And it always makes me laugh as I read that, because to think that one area of the county is going to pay more taxes than another area, it was such a falsehood, and it was all brought on by a certain individual, apparently, that said this. And so, Salida is has a Mello-Roos district within Salida, and their residents, as a result of the Mello-Roos, pay an additional amount that people who aren't in a Mello-Roos, but a Mello-Roos is not a tax, it's a financing instrument, and people who purchase their houses that don't they could pay a lesser amount for their house as a result of a Mello-Roos being put in place to cover the infrastructure costs, and they pay for that infrastructure cost over a period of time. It's funded, it's bonded, and it's funded that way. So Salida does have a Mello-Roos in place, and so the residents do pay that tax. But there are 40 Mello-Rooses in this county. We have 40 Mello-Rooses out there. So Salida is not the only place that has a Mello-Roos. So that in itself is a falsehood that Salida is paying more tax. They have a Mello-Roos, but there's a lot of other Mello-Rooses out there. And then when we look just as far as the charges that are out there across the county, and we have different, what do we call them, CFDs out there across the county. And in comparison, Salida is very comparable to others. I think Denair and Keys probably have these districts also where they have to pay for the services that are provided. So, so anyway, we were so proud of this process to get here and to get the support of the community out there and have them weighing in on this and actually coming up with this idea of how to do it. And then to see this article come out in the paper, it hurt, made my stomach hurt to make me think that we're paying more taxes in Salida and we're about to pay more was the headline. And it couldn't be any further than the truth. We're hoping to get some sort of a rebuttal from the B and correct this. But I just want to let you guys to know that a lot of work has gone into this to get us to this point. We're asking for $31 more a year for everybody to pay towards this district to the CSA for the to help with the storm drain areas. So anyway, that's the background. Probably more than you wanted to hear, but I just wanted to get that off my chest. Thank you.
Feel better?
Yes.
Okay, good. Questions?
Yes, it might be a statement, might be a question. Was this funded back in 2002, 2003 through community development block grants, just like all the other redevelopments that we've done?
All right, I'll go ahead and open to the public.
Dave Lehman, Stanislaus County Public Works Director. Yeah, it's my understanding it was CDBG, USDA redevelopment funds for rural projects, and the redevelopment agency paid for the capital project back then. So it was redevelopment agency, CDBG funds, and USDA grant.
And Public Works has been funding the shortfall through
We've just been cutting back services.
cutting back services.
Cutting back services. We need to rebuild the pump account. We have 6 really large pumps out there. They're $80,000 a piece, and if you don't have the replacement money, that's important. So.
For sure, we're going through this. There's one area in Denair that does not have this.
Mm-hmm.
They've got pumps that have gone bad. So I'm familiar. And I know you weren't around in 2002. I wasn't, but I'm going to lecture us right now again in that this is just a fairness issue. It's pretty simple. And somehow it was able to escape all these years where everyone wasn't paying their fair share because the total cost goes down as you have more ratepayers, obviously, and they could have had a better service. And so, shame on us for allowing that to happen in 2002, and we'll have to just remember on a go-forward basis not to let this happen again.
For sure.
You're welcome to say anything else if you'd like.
I do think this is an important project, and I think one of the benefits of it, because there's a lot of confusion in Salida, having CSA 10 pay only for landscape services will make it easier for parks to say in the future, if you want your parks and common area landscaping to look good, we need to increase the fee. There's been a lot of conflation between the storm drainage part of that, and you'd have people say, well, look, let the landscaping die. Well, all the moms who live next to the park with the kids, they want the parks to look nice. So this actually, I think, will help with community understanding and information and education. Everybody says storm drainage is important, but the parks are important too. And so now they'll have a better understanding that which pot of money is going to where. And so if they have a complaint, they can say, well, it's that one, not this one. It'll be 4 for storm drainage and 10 for parks and landscaping. So I think it'll help.
Thank you.
Makes sense.
Anyone else in public want to speak? If not, I'll close the public hearing and bring it back for some more discussion or a vote.
I move that we approve the resolution number 2021-03 as stated and follow the staff recommendations.
Okay, we have a motion
Second.
and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed say no. It passes unanimously. Thank you.
Thanks, Dave.
There's no other business. Commissioner comments? Additional matters at the discretion of the chairperson? I have nothing. Executive officers report.
Yes, really quickly on the horizon, Monday, March 29th is the due date at 4:30 p.m. for public member applications to be on LAFCO. And we'll be recruiting for both public member and alternate public member. The application itself can be found on the public notice portion of our website. There's a link from the front page, so spread the word. For the next meeting, April 28th, we'll have the proposed budget as well as the Northwest Newman Phase 1 annexation to the city of Newman. And then on May 26th, we'll have final budget and the Lodi-Whitmore annexation to the city of Modesto. And that's all I have.
Thank you. The next meeting is April 28th, and all in agreement for adjournment, say aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you.
Nice job.